Hello! Now have a peek under here. Yes, the spring sowings have begun with gusto, and I have to say I'm full of optimism for the new growing season. This year I'm going to be making a concerted effort to grow more vegetables, specifically for putting aside for those leaner months of year. You may be happy with an abundance of produce simply to enjoy fresh, and that's absolutely fine. But if, like me, you're planning something for the store cupboard, whether for freezing, dehydrating, preserving or canning, then you'll need to apply a little forethought. Get it right, and there should be plenty to enjoy, both during the growing season and long after it's done and dusted. Now, if you like the sound of that, this video is for you. The first job is deciding what to grow, and choosing what your family actually enjoys eating is a great place to start. Pick varieties known to perform reliably in your location. For example, if you garden in a hot climate and you want to grow tomatoes, you'll need to source heat-tolerant varieties. But if your summers are typically cool and overcast, seek out cool climate varieties bred for just such conditions. Bear in mind soil type too. You might, for example, have grand plans to freeze truckfuls of blueberries, but if your soil isn't acidic, you won't be able to grow them in any serious quantity. So concentrate on what grows best in your garden. Consider how long crops take to reach harvest. This way you can work out if there are any opportunities for follow-on crops once your first crops are finished. Our garden planner will give you an idea of how many weeks crops take from sowing to harvest in your location. Focus your initial efforts on reliable, easy-to-grow crops such as tomatoes, peppers, onions, cucumbers and beans. These will form the bulk of your stored produce, but should also give enough for eating fresh. As well as choosing varieties appropriate for your climate and soil, pick those best suited for what you have in mind. For example, if you hope to make lots of tomato sauce for the freezer, grow a paste tomato such as Roma that cooks down well. Or perhaps you want to make some pickles, then grow smaller, pickling cucumbers that will fit into jars. While all of this produce is destined to be stored in some way, it's still worth staggering planting times to spread out harvests. A clutch of cucumbers or a bonanza of beets is a joy to behold, but you don't want everything to be ready for processing at the same time. Dealing with gluts like this is time-consuming and not especially fun. Fruit trees and bushes yield lots of produce for minimal effort on the gardener's part. They're a must for filling the store cupboard. Plant a range of varieties in order to extend the harvest period, which will make processing what you pick more manageable. As an example, the earliest varieties of plum ripen in midsummer. There are plums to pick in late summer, while the last varieties to ripen aren't ready to harvest till autumn. Plant varieties and types of fruit that you love, but that aren't readily available in the grocery store. Crab apples, for example, are impossible to find in the shops, but are a fantastic ingredient for homemade preserves. Berries and currants of all kinds are ideal for canning, freezing and preserving. They are easy to grow but expensive to buy, which makes them a very worthwhile addition to your garden. Don't overlook blackberries. These vigorous canes look great trained up a pergola or screen. All of these soft fruits are relatively trouble-free, though if you plan on growing a lot of fruit, you might want to consider planting them in a fruit cage to prevent the birds from beating you to it. Pick fruit as it ripens and refrigerate what you've picked until you have enough to make a batch of preserves. When planning any productive garden, aim to plant your most labour-intensive crops closest to the house, while crops needing less attention such as fruit bushes can be grown further away. Tomatoes, for example, need regular watering, feeding and inspecting for pests. If they are nearer the house, you'll be more inclined to pop outside and tend them. Locate herbs close by too, so they are always on hand to add to recipes, including preserves and canned produce. Make use of garden microclimates to push the boundaries. Sheltered, sun-facing walls mean apricots are fair game in temperate climates, and it's amazing how even a fig will thrive given a warm, sun-drenched corner. Finally, stock up on all the kit and extra ingredients necessary to process all of the fantastically fresh produce that will be heading your way. Enjoying fresh produce that you've grown yourself at the peak of its perfection is fantastic, but putting aside some of this abundance is a wise move, and one that'll help you take another step closer to self-sufficiency. Popping open a jar of garden-grown goodness in the depths of winter, well, it's priceless. What are you looking to grow this season, and are you planning on filling your store cupboards while you're at it? You can let us know what you're up to in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching, and please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'll catch you next time.